Hello everyone and welcome to Because of Books, my first video ever, and hopefully not that shitty, which would be really great. But nevertheless, welcome. I am starting off with not really a review on a book channel, but I feel like this way you guys can get to know me a little bit better with the first video. And even though only probably like 3 people are going to watch this video, as you might have already guessed, is a Top 5 Wednesday. Now, Top 5 Wednesday I absolutely love because I love book tags, and any excuse to share my opinion on books without having to post an extremely long review is just the best thing that anyone has ever done, ever. And this week's topic just seemed to be the perfect way to start because it's your top 5 underrated books. And I feel like the top 5 underrated books that someone says can really say a lot about a person. I just feel like this is a great way to start because it covers a lot of ground. I'm just gonna jump right in and go with my top 5 underrated books because these books deserve a little bit more love than they're getting. And I just want to say right off the bat that these books might not be underrated like in certain groups, but I just haven't heard that much about them, and while most of my friends aren't really readers, I haven't heard a lot about them on the BookTube community. So I might have heard a couple comments here and there, but not enough people are reading these books. So to start off, Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. I'm really not sure how to say his name. I'm really sorry. But first of all, this cover is absolutely gorgeous, and the book itself is also a gorgeous book, like the writing inside, I mean. I bought it because I was hearing, I read the synopsis on Goodreads, and I was like, I need to get my hands on this book, and they had it in my local bookstore, and I was so excited. And so I bought it without even opening it, and then I opened it, and I noticed that everything's kind of sorry, my camera doesn't zoom, in interviews and dialogue, and I was like, this is out of the usual, and I don't really deal well with things that aren't really bad teenage novels. And then before I knew it, I was in deep. It's so interesting because it's so different, and you think you know where it's going, and then it really isn't, and it's interviews, right? And the interviewer is this really mysterious guy, and we know nothing about him. We learn maybe just like smidgens here and there. We don't even know his name. The other characters are the interviewees, and they're just really interesting, and then there's just this one turn that the book takes that you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's just amazing, and the end, guys, the end was just plot twist galore. I'm waiting for the second book because I need it, and I hope the cover's gonna be this pretty because it's just such a pretty book. It's just so pretty. Yeah, so Sleeping Giants, number 5. I think these are in order. So this is like my number 5. Now it's coming up number 4, and number 4 is kind of this I read this book when I was quite young. It kind of got me really into reading because Meg Cabot is just the best person to start reading with. I read this when I was like 13, and it was the best thing I've ever read in my life. It's Vanished by Meg Cabot, and it's actually writing as Jenny Carroll. I'm not sure what that means. I really don't know, but it was amazing nevertheless. Now, this book is actually 2 books in one. I have the combined thing, and it's books 1 and 2 of the 1-800-Where-Are-You series. It's When Lightning Strikes and Codename Cassandra. And this book is about a girl who gets struck by lightning and develops magical powers to find people. But she doesn't want it, and the FBI kind of is like, you need to help us find terrorists. And she's like, I just want to be a normal girl. And it's honestly one of the best things ever because it's so easy to read and you get super into it. And it's something that not a lot of people have read. And it's just, I really recommend this for people who don't read that much but want to get into reading, if that makes any sense. It's just really great. I love this one. It doesn't get enough love. This was one of my first babies. So number 3, So many fond memories of this book, and it is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This book is about a group of kids who take a test to see if they're fit for this mysterious ad that's going around that's saying if you are you a gifted child looking for special opportunities. And so our main characters go to take this test, and it's really a hard test, and they're put to the test to see whether or not they qualify. And it's just, these kids are unbelievably smart, and they take ways out of places that they just it's just, you would never think of it. And I actually, because it's a series, there's actually an accompanying book which is really cool, which is just a book of puzzles, so you can test yourself if you are as smart as these children. And honestly, some of them are really hard, but some of them are not so hard, so you kind of feel better about yourself sometimes during this book, and sometimes you're like, I didn't deserve to pass 5th grade. So yeah, this book about really smart children going to a school undercover to find out what's going on in this school. Book number 2 is the most hilarious book I've ever read in my entire life, without a doubt. I've never read a funnier book, and that is Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. I cannot count on all my fingers and all my toes and all the counting ways in the world how many times I laughed out loud during this book. I would be riding the public transport system and I would just start laughing, and everyone would just look at me like I'm crazy, because I probably was, but just these misadventures of a woman who's just going through the funniest things, and she's recollecting on her past and things that happened in her childhood, and it's so funny. And there's these drawings in, and it's kind of like a picture book. It's really easy and fun to read, and I haven't met one person who doesn't think this book is the funniest shit they've ever read in their life. And last but most certainly not least, this is my favorite book, okay? I can't even explain my love for this book series, and it is so underrated. If I ever go to any bookstores, I never find it there. It's just, it's never amongst the bookshelves, or even in like the used section of some bookstores, but everyone really needs to pick up this book because it's so great, and that is Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. This book is everything to me. Okay, so this is my amazing copy. That is my first copy that I got, and I lent it to so many people, and it was like fairly light papered, so now it has like tape all around the sides, and like someone left a really nice note inside, like a post-it note they didn't write on the book actually, which was really nice of them. I actually went online and I got myself a hardcover first edition copy, which I don't know how, but I managed to get it, and I'm just completely in shock because they don't print these anymore. Like, they don't print the hardcovers, they're out of print. And I managed to get a first edition as used for about $3-4. This is the only book that I went out of my way to find a hardcover copy for. This book is my life, and the main female character is so kick-ass. She's so smart and so, I'm not going to say relatable, because honestly she goes through so much stuff that I can't relate to. When people say that female characters are relatable, I just don't understand, because I am nothing like these girls. I'm not brave. I'm not like courageous. I'm the male lead character. It's just, he is the best thing I've ever read about in my entire life. He is the top bae on my list of baes. He's the best thing I've ever, his name is Valak, and he's my life. This book is so good. Guys, it's so good. It's about this girl, and she has killed someone, and it was in self-defense, but regardless of that, she lives in this world where murder is murder, and if you kill someone you get put to death, so an eye for an eye. And so she's waiting to be executed, and she gets offered something else. She gets offered a deal. So the person who runs this country is called the commander. They call him the commander, and he has a food taster because he's really high up there and people might want to poison his food, so he has a food taster. And this food tasting job is a little bit more complicated than just eat food and if you die, you then he doesn't eat the food. No, there's kind of a technique to it, and you have to learn how to be a food taster because the father of the person who she murdered is there with them, and he wants her dead. And he wants her dead more than anything, and he's trying to go around people's backs, and he's trying all sorts of cunning and all sorts of trickery to get her, to kill her. And she is not having any of it. She does not want to die. She just got out of her prison death sentence, and she will not die today because of him. So there's going to be 6 books now, and the last one is coming out in 2 weeks, and I just, my heart, it can't deal with it. It can't take it anymore. So there's Poison Study, Magic Study, Fire Study, which was the original trilogy, but then people wanted more, or the author wanted more money, whatever the reason is, I don't care. I'm just so happy that it made more. And then there was Shadow Study, Night Study, and then the final one that's coming out on the 31st of January is Dawn Study, and I can't wait, and I'm so excited, and I need it in my life right now. Guys, please, all of these books, give them all some love, because they're honestly the best thing ever, and you really need to read them. Your life will be better. Your life will be like a new light will come into your life because of these books. First of all, go and read all of them because they're amazing. And number 2, comment down below if one of these is on your favorites list or on your most underrated books list. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around for the next videos. You know, maybe, maybe not. But thank you all the same. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye!